Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bridget. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well today. If this is your first time and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's the red button down there. In fact, don't consider, just subscribe. It's completely free of charge. YouTube subscription is free. You don't pay for it. So support your girl by subscribing. And if you hit on the bell sign, you get notification whenever I post my videos. So guys, I want to talk to you guys about something very, very important. I've been planning to do this video for God knows how long, but today is the day that the Lord has made that this video will be released. Before I get on with my story today, I'd like to announce that this video is probably sponsored by Sendwave. Sendwave is an app that sends money instantly to bank accounts from Europe, the US, Canada to Nigeria and other African countries. And at the moment, Sendwave are doing a promotion for a limited time only. Sendwave is giving cash bonus, rewards offer. And this is how it works. When you send any amount above $50, 50 euros, 50 pounds to Nigeria, you are going to receive 4.5% increase. That's quite good, isn't it? On top of your the money that you are sending. So so the cash bonus will be added before you transfer it, and you would see how much has been added. So this, like I said, this is only for a limited period of time. You can check how much you're sending, how much it is in naira, and you can also check how much the amount that is being given to you as an added bonus is. And on top of that, they're still giving you £10, €10 and $10 that you normally get if you are downloading the app for the first time. So if you've never used Sendwave app before, download it from the app store, the Play Store. And before you send, once you set it up, just put my code OBODO and you will have £10, $10 added. If you check my description box, and I'm also going to pin a comment down here at the comment section, you'll see all the details of this promotion. It is very, very, very important that you use it. You have to take advantage of it because it's only for a limited period of time only. So Christmas is around the corner. Those of you who have plans to go to Nigeria, or you got some project that you're planning to complete before the end of this year, like I always advise you, have your own bank account, put your money in your bank account. I send money to my account very regularly because whenever I'm going to Nigeria, I don't bother to take money. I only buy my ticket, I'm gone. Because I always make sure that I have money awaiting me in Nigeria. It saves you a lot of stress. So now to the gist of the day. I'm talking about, children putting their parents in care home, residential home, or old people's home. I don't know. Here in the UK, it's called residential home or nursing home. That's what they call them. I don't know what you call them in the US. But it's generally where if people cannot manage to live by themselves in the community, either due to, old age or illness or not having somebody to care for them, and they are not able to manage them anymore, then they put them in what they call a residential, which is like an old people's home. Now, where we come from in Africa, a lot of us have like a phobia, I can say, to being put in a home like that, because we didn't grow up seeing things like that. But here, it's a cultural thing here that they do that. Once you are of a certain age, people even make preparation for it, that they go into if they cannot cook for themselves. Because it's different, because where we come from in Africa, children care for their parents. But here, the lifestyle is different here in a way that the children don't have time to care for their parents. They all have their own life to live. If the parents cannot care for themselves, in some cases, very occasionally, you see some children that will say, okay, I'm going to look after my mom, I'm going to look after my dad. But in most cases, the children have their own lives to live. They have their career, they have their families, and they don't have the time to look after their aged parents. So they normally put them in a home. Now, when you are 50, once you are 50 in the abroad, it's like you've crossed half of your life. And then you begin to see letters that they'll be sending to you about, that's when they will begin to remind you of retirement funds. They remind you if your pension is in order. They will remind you of savings towards your funeral and things, so many things that we don't do where we come from. But I think as Africans who live in the diaspora, it's very important that we take all this, that we think about it and actually, talk about it as well. Because you are wondering, okay, a lot of us over here are never going to go back to settle in Africa anymore, because our lives are here, especially for women. Our children are here. So even if some men want to go back, you'll be wondering, who am I going to leave my children for? Even if they are grown and they've left home, you have your grandchildren. I mean, you have all your links are here. Your friends are here. Your community as per, church, group, and everything that you are doing. This is where you've lived like most of your life. Even if you came here as an adult, this is where you've lived most of your adult life. So going back home is not always easy for a lot of people. Some people will still want to go no matter what. And then some people will be thinking about, when you are old, that's when you become weak. You are at risk of more of illness, and other things will start, things will start to shift at a certain age by the time you are 60, 70, and above. From 70 above, So if somebody is aging and they have medical issues, they'll be thinking, if I go back home, how am I going to look after myself? The healthcare, medication, like in the UK here, whereby we pay into the NHS and then we get treated. You don't pay for you pay, but it's not directly like you've been paying or you're working. Like when you work, they deduct some percentage of your income towards your healthcare. That way, when you go for treatment, you don't pay anymore because you've already contributed. That's how it works in the UK. So you'll be thinking, how am I going to get medication? How am I going to get this? How am I going to... But the most important thing that you'll be thinking at a certain age, if I'm not well or anything happens to me, for instance, let's take dementia. Dementia is a very, very, because this is my area that I work in, so I know about it. Dementia, Alzheimer's, is a very common reason why they put people in home. And some people think it's only Oyinbo people that have dementia. No, it's not. Black people too. As a matter of fact, when I was growing up, I remember that some people had dementia of which they didn't understand what it was. We just looked at them as if they become children. When people get so old, they become children. That's the way they describe it back home in Africa. They say, they become children. They start to talk about things that happened a long time ago, and they suffer from memory problems. They don't remember things that happened today, and then some of them have incontinence issues and things like that. It did happen, but generally people were not aware of it. I think they're more aware of it now. Somebody even told me that there are care homes in places like Lagos now, that some people will go to the village now if there's nobody to care for their parents and bring them to Lagos and put them in a care home. I've not confirmed that, but I understand that there are care homes in Nigeria now. So the thought in your mind as you are crossing towards that age is that, am I going to end up in a residential home? A lot of people from Asian and Black, ethnic minority groups do not want to be in a care home. They don't want to be in a care home because we feel like your children should care for you. You cared for them. You cared for your parents. Now your children should care for you. But the reality is that it does not always work like that. So it's something to reflect on. Are my children going to put me in a care home if I'm not able to care for myself anymore? When I'm old and I'm weak and I can't do things for myself again. Because what the governments, which is the local authority, like what you call local government in Nigeria, will normally do is that because you pay taxes, a lot of that taxes go towards social care. So if your children cannot care for you anymore, the government has a responsibility in the UK here to make sure that you are being cared for. So they'll usually bring carers who will come to assist you at home. But it gets to a point where they feel like maybe because of the cost of the care, if it's too high, like for instance, if what they are paying, what the local authority is paying in the community is higher than care home, they will look at it and say they should put it in a care home. Or if your care is so difficult to manage in the community, like at home, like for instance, I use dementia again. Somebody who has dementia a lot of them tend to wander. That is, they go out and then they get missing. They can't find their way home anymore because they are confused. They suffered from what you call cognitive, decline. So when they go out, they get lost. People will be calling police. They'll be calling the children and everything. If it's something that gets so bad that the risks are very high, they'll say put the person in a home. By the grace of God, we are all trusting God that we are going to age very well. We will not suffer from any physical or mental decline. By the grace of God, we will still be strong. But it is a thought that you always have to think in your mind, okay, by the time I'm 75, 80, what is going to happen to me? I think we should definitely think about it. And one thing I wanted to say, for those of you who live in the UK, I can't speak much about other parts of Europe or in the US or Canada, but in the UK, I know this is what happens. So in the UK, yeah, you are assessed for your care that you receive. You receive care from social services. They will assess you to know whether you're going to contribute or not. And this is the amount that the government says you can keep, 23,000. That's the amount you can keep as savings. Anything above £23,000, then they regard you as a self-funder. That means you have money to pay for your care. So forget the fact that you've been paying taxes, or you've been paying national insurance, you've been paying council tax or whatever. all these years that you are working, once you have above 23,000, they will ask you to pay for your care. That's the one they consider self-funder. So they will now give you the care bill for whatever care that you are receiving until your income goes below 23,000. This is the catch there. And it's, if you have a house, for instance, and whether you finish paying the mortgage or you have not finished, most people at 80 would have finished paying off their mortgages, yeah? If you have a house that you finish paying the mortgage or you have not finished paying the mortgage, they consider it as part of your assets. So you will have to put the house in the market and sell to fund your care. All that money will go towards your care. But you see where it seems like is unfair. If somebody doesn't have a house or they don't have any income above 23, the government will fund the care that they receive. But you that has labored all your life, you and your partner, you and your husband, your husband and wife have worked at, bought house, did this, did that. They will now basically take it because you are going to sell it and they will put that money into your care until that money finish and goes below 23,000 before the government will now start paying. So it's something for you to think about. And if you leave it for your children, there's something they call inheritance tax, of which by the time you finish paying so much of it, in fact, you will be wishing maybe it would have been better for you to just sell the house while you were alive or something, or while you were younger or something. So these are all the things that we need to consider when we still have the strength to work and to plan. Will I be put in a care home? How many of you Obodo fan will have issues being put in a care home? I'd like to know your thoughts about this thing, because I think, especially for people who are above 40, 50, these are the things that we should be considering now at this age, because before you know, 60, 70 is here. So it's good to talk about this thing and plan. How many of you want to return back home to Africa when you get to that age, to go and rest with your brethren and be taken care of? Because back home, you always have someone to take care of you, especially if you have some small money to pay. They can take care of you over there. How many of you will have an issue going into like a residential or old people's home? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. I'd like to hear what people have to say about this. Before I end this video, I want to remind you again that Sendwave is doing a promo. Use my code Obodo to get £10, $10 and €10 added if you are using it for the first time. And of course, if you are already using Sendwave, if you send above $50, £50, €50, you get a percentage added to your money that you're sending. So if you're sending anything above $50, £50, €50, 4.5% added to your transfer. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Leave me your thoughts and your comments in the comment section. I'll speak to you in my next one. I love you. Bye-bye.
When they say it's about money, man, I tell them it's my life. Man, I chilling in the studio, man, I vibing, it's my life. And to play.